Hi everyone, thanks for joining again to my 7th day in a row now of the drawing challenge, and I'm going to start you off by giving you a bit of free advice. Before drawing anything, warm up. Draw a couple of circles, doodle, scribble on a page, just warm up those hands. Trust me, it'll help. Anyway, today we are moving on to yet another new shape. You're drawing two cubes with a bit of shading, and I'm outside walking the dog again in my shorts in what feels like -3 degrees. It's cold, but we're doing this. And I imagine everyone knows how to draw a cube, but if you don't, always start off with a trapezoid. Two sets of parallel lines, that's all you need. And then once we've got our two sets of parallel lines, just either mirror it or the same lines you just need to draw again, just further away, parallel again, and they should all marry up to draw a cube. And what I find fascinating about this kind of cube, you can't tell if it's a hollowed out cube facing inwards or outwards. It's actually used in quite a common illusion you probably see on a lot of wallpapers. And I'm just going to bisect it just to make sure that all the framework is there, and doing this will later on make it easier to cut pieces out of the cube to form new and more complex shapes. It's a bit rough around the edges, but I think you get the point. And we're going to draw another cube down here, and I'm just going to pretend I'm doing this on purpose, but I'm going to totally botch this one up. It's going to be very sketchy, very rough, but it's to show you that no matter how bad things go, you can always correct it properly. So these lines are definitely not parallel, and it looks like it's at a really weird wonky angle, but maybe this would work in a particular kind of perspective, but it doesn't work here. So I'm going to keep on correcting it, sketching over, and when you draw and sketch any picture really, this kind of stuff's going to happen all the time. It's called planning, it's called sketching. We'll figure it out, we'll go over it, we'll erase things, we'll draw it again. It'll work, and this is slowly getting there. And if it's a bit wonky, that's okay. It's a style. So, two very different ways of drawing, but we're going to treat them as the same and bisect this one again, because if we suddenly wanted to take out one of these mini cubes, we can do, and it's going to form a deep 3D shape, which ordinarily would be quite difficult to draw. So there we have it. We've got our two cubes, one a bit wonkier than the other one, and now we're going to add a bit of contrast, a bit of shading, and make it look a bit more presentable. How was everyone's Monday, by the way? I know that Mondays are typically a bit of a slump, and especially directly after winter break, so I hope it went well for everyone. Now I'm just going to go over the lines until they're a bit darker, start adding some shading. So I'm going to do light points different to each cube and just practice a bit more. I'm doing a bit of cross hatching. I should probably use a different pen for this, but this is very rough. You can do this digitally or on paper and pencil, and it's just for practice. I'm not going to be showing this to anyone, although saying that, I guess I'm showing it to everyone by putting it on YouTube. But that's one of them done. One side extremely dark, one a little bit shaded, and then the final one with complete saturation of light. And I'm going to do that with my cube on the left as well, with a bit more care put into the shading. And the left side shaded, the bottom side slightly dark, and the other side completely saturated with light again. and I'm almost trying to make the shading with 2 parallel lines as well, as we've only got one light source. And if you tilt the page, you can get a better look of where the shadows are, but I guess I can just rotate my canvas at the same time. And I'm actually quite looking for tomorrow's lesson, because we are going to be drawing 2 eyeballs facing the same direction. So we'll be drawing spheres and then small ovals in between to show the directions that eyes are pointed in, but we can go over that tomorrow. And there we have it, 2 cubes drawn with random angles, random directions, with different angles of where the light is coming from, just as my fingers are starting to become numb. Let me know which one you prefer, whether it's the one on the left or the one on the right. Personally, I quite like the one on the right, as it looks a bit more cartoonish. And yeah, there we go. I hope that you're able to try these yourself and continue with me as we draw together and learn together. Thanks everyone for joining again. Remember to take my advice and warm up, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks everyone, and have a good day.